Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to show you something that's actually a lot easier than most people think. We're going to create our own token on an EVM blockchain, then I'll add it to my wallet, we'll check the contract on chain and make sure everything looks the way it should. Once we're done, you'll have a real ERC20 token that you can move between wallets, plug into DeFi protocols, and if you ever decide to build something around it later, it'll already be compatible with pretty much the entire EVM ecosystem. Now, some of you probably remember what this used to look like a few years back. It wasn't just clicking a couple of buttons. You had to work with Solidity, make sure the ERC20 contract was written correctly, compile everything, deploy it, verify the source code, test it first, and if it was an actual project, well, you'd probably spend even more time checking the contract for security issues before letting anyone use it. So for people who weren't developers, it could turn into a pretty frustrating process. Now it's a different story. AI helps with a lot of the boring parts, there are builders using well-tested contract templates, and the whole workflow is just a lot smoother than it used to be. Something that could easily take an afternoon before can now be finished in a few minutes. And one thing, stick around until the end, because there are a couple of small details that are easy to overlook the first time. I actually ended up looking for a tool like this myself not too long ago. I spent some time comparing different options, asked a few AI tools to point me in the right direction, and then tested everything on my own. This builder kept ending up at the top of the list, so I started deploying a few test contracts with it, checking every transaction, making sure nothing weird was happening, and after using it for a while, I figured it was worth showing here. Alright, let's get into it. First thing, I'm opening the platform. I'll pin the official link below the video because, seriously, don't just search for it and click whatever shows up first. Fake crypto websites have gotten ridiculously convincing, and all it takes is connecting your wallet to the wrong one. That's usually how people lose money. So use the official link, double check the domain, and you'll save yourself a lot of unnecessary problems. So first thing I need to pick is the network. You can see there are several EVM chains here: Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Arbitrum, Base, whichever one you need. I'm going to stay on Ethereum for this example because most people watching are probably familiar with it already. Okay, now we start filling everything in. Token name. This one's easy, just the full name of the token. That's what people are going to see inside their wallet and on the block explorer. I'm just typing a sample name here. Next, symbol. This is simply the ticker. Same thing you see with ETH, USDC, UNI, just the short version of the name. 3 or 4 letters is usually enough, although you're not limited to that. Next, decimals. Yeah, I'm leaving this one at 18. Most ERC20 tokens use 18 decimals, so unless you already know why you're changing it, I'd just leave it alone. Now the supply. This part is completely up to you. Some projects mint 1 million tokens, some go with 100 million, some even more. There's no fixed rule here. For this walkthrough, I'm just going to use a nice round number. Then you've got these extra options down here. You don't have to switch everything on. Maybe you want minting later, maybe you want token burning, maybe ownership controls. It depends on what you're building. If all you need is a regular ERC20 token, you can keep things nice and simple. All right, everything looks good. I'm just opening the review page, giving everything one more look. Network's right, name looks good, ticker's fine, supply's correct. Okay, let's connect the wallet. All right, wallet's connected. Over here, I can choose which token I'm going to use to pay the deployment fee. Everything looks fine, so let's hit deploy. There it is, token's live. So from this point, the contract already exists on chain. This isn't just sitting inside the builder anymore. It's an actual ERC20 contract on the blockchain. Here's the contract address. I'm going to use this address to open the block explorer, check that everything deployed correctly, and then import the token into my wallet. That's the same contract address you'll use anytime you want to track the token, verify it, or interact with it through other applications. And that's really the whole process. I hope seeing everything step by step made it a little easier to understand. Once you actually go through it yourself, you realize there's really not that much going on behind the scenes. If you run into something different, or you've got a question about one of the steps, just leave a comment below. I'll jump in whenever I can and help out. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.